Hey, how's it going, y'all? This is Alex coming in with you. Today is Saturday, and of course, it's meal time, it's evening time, so it's time to cook the evening meal. What we're going to do today in my kitchen is I'm going to be the one that's cooking today. My wife usually does the cooking, but I'm cooking today because I got a specialty that I like cooking, and being that I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, we got a favorite meal down there that everybody is familiar with that was born and raised in St. Louis, anywhere from the 70s on up to the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, things like that. And still to this day, when I go home, it's there. So what I'm going to be doing is a home cooked meal that we love from a restaurant, and that's our Chinese food down in St. Louis. So what I'm going to be doing is a combination variation of it, a fried rice, and it's going to be chicken, and I'm going to be using shrimp. So I didn't want to put any beef into it because I had beef in my body already during the week, so I'm pretty much leaving that out, and I'm just going to do the chicken and shrimp. So it's going to be chicken, shrimp, fried rice, and like I said, what we're going to do is, of course, the main thing we're going to have is going to be the rice going with it. I prepped that earlier. I usually know when I'm going to do it. If I had in my head earlier, I would have been doing it. I would have cooked the rice yesterday and then had it in the refrigerator ready to go for the day. But being that I thought of it, earlier today, and I said, okay, I give myself about 4 hours, get home by 12, cook it, let it sit, refrigerate it, and then I bring it back out, hopefully. So right now it's after 4, and like I said, some of the other ingredients I'm going to be using, of course, is going to be the shrimp, and this is right here, red divine Argentine style shrimp. They're large pieces. I'll be cutting these in half, pretty much, and breaking them down a little bit. Or I may leave them in whole, depending on how I feel after that. Then of course I'm going to be using chicken. So I got chicken thighs instead of white meat chicken. I'm a dark meat when it comes to my chicken, so I'll be cutting this up on a level where it's be small enough that it won't look like it's overwhelming the meal. I'll also be using the green pepper. I'll also be using green onion, and I'll add bean sprouts. So we got bean sprouts, everything else, and of course my favorite. This will be enough too, actually. I'm not going to use all of this. It should be enough, and that's going to be the choy soy sauce. And of course I'm going to take some eggs and cut the eggs up into a scramble and put everything together. And we're going to have my own, close as I can get to it, St. Louis style fried rice. Anybody that know, if you've been to St. Louis and you have relatives down that way and they take you out to eat, 9 times out of 10, everybody know they go to the restaurant, Chinese restaurant, and get some fried rice, White Castles, things of that nature. But mainly that fried rice is off the chain. Out in St. Louis, Normandy, St. Charles, almost anywhere you go, south side of St. Louis, almost anywhere you go, everybody makes their fried rice the same in St. Louis. They all know how we want it and they cook it for us that way. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get this prep, get it started, and I'll be back. All right, so chicken was cut. As you can see, my pieces I got right here. Like I said, I was going to cut them up small, and it's just some regular chicken thighs that was skinned, boneless. And the only thing I had to do was cut them up into nice chunk pieces to add into the rice, to give it my flavor that I want for my fried rice. Now my next thing I'm going to be doing, because I already got the shrimp and I decided I'm going to leave them whole, and I'm just getting right now, the next thing I'm going to be doing is peppers. So as you can see, as I'm doing right now, just take the peppers and cut them. And just real simple, like just dice them. Nothing major. I'm not that chef where you sit there and you go through all of them. I don't have that skill, but I do have this skill here, so it works for me here. And I did rinse them off, so that was rinsed off already. Same thing. All right. So just giving you an idea of what I'm doing. If you never made this before, it's real simple. I know a lot of people like to go to the Chinese restaurant and sometimes we like to indulge ourselves that way, but sometimes you cook it at home and you almost, as long as you can remember what you witnessed the flavor of it being, you just get those things that give it that flavor as well. And it still may not come out to that level, like the Chinaman does it, which is what we used to call it back in St. Louis. You say, where I'm going, so I'm going to get some Chinamans. We wouldn't say Chinese restaurant. We said we're going to get some Chinamans in St. Louis. So shout out to the 314 and just cutting it up. All right, so the green pepper's done. Got a little bit right here, and I'm not gonna make, that's just one green pepper that I cut up. And the reason being I'm only using this because I'm adding some green onion to it. So I'm not gonna waste, a lot of peppers by using more than one. But the next thing we're gonna be doing now, so this is the prep time right here. And that takes the most time, if I was doing something else, I probably would have prepped it earlier. So, but like I said, I came up with it earlier today when I wanted to do this, and I have been doing a lot of running this morning because I got other things that I do as well with my time. So I came up with this when I was driving down the road. I said, what I want to eat today. Told the wifey, I said we'd do some fried rice because we was gonna do chicken at first. And I said, well, I got to taste for the shrimp fried rice if you don't mind. And then she said, of course. And so went ahead and did that. That way she can concentrate on what she likes to do because she got some projects she's working on herself. So I'm taking this time to get this done and she can do what she needs to get done. But yeah, we're going to do the green onions next and get that ready to go. And pretty much all I'm going to do is go across. Cut those up. Go a little bit into the white area of it. Now, this is just me. I don't keep this part. I don't know if anybody else does, but I don't keep it. That's why I guess they call it green onion. You put green onion in your food. So now we got that part done. So now we go ahead and set up. That's pretty much the prep time right there. I think that'll be enough. I might take one more bush of the green onion. This should do it right here. As you can see right there, so I'm using my wok right here. And as far as the oil, I take some olive oil and I put just enough. And I've done it before, so I like it like this. I take the olive oil, put enough just to cover up the base of the pan. And it's just using extra virgin olive oil. It can be whatever your brand is. I get it from the store brand. It's all the same to me. Not too much, but at least on that level. So what takes the longest to cook is going to be the chicken. So I'm going to go ahead, like I said, get this heat going, and then get this chicken in there and get it prepped, and then I'll add the shrimp to it because shrimp doesn't take long to cook. But with the chicken, we got to make sure that's done first. All right, so we got the chicken going now, and I'm pretty much going to stir that up as it cooks. And while we're doing that at the same time, I got to get the eggs ready. That is the one thing I forgot and left out the equation. So eggs up and running. I already took some eggs out, so go ahead and get these bad boys ready to go too. I always try to make sure I put my eggs on something so they don't roll off the table, wind up breaking. You got a mess to clean up. I love Chinese food, one of my favorites. Really do love it. It's like I said, St. Louis, we call it the China Man. What I always say, where you going, bro? I'm going to the Chinaman's. Bring me back a small box, bring me back a medium size. My father, rest in peace, his favorite was egg foo young. Mine, of course, was special fried rice. At first, when I grew up eating Chinese food as a kid, it wasn't that I didn't like it, but I had my own specialty. I love duck and noodles. So I would get duck and I would get noodles. You know, my mother and father would get the egg foo young. My father, he loved egg foo young, and my brother and sister, pretty much same thing. Everybody ate the egg foo young. I would think I was the only eyeball at that time. I always loved getting the duck and noodles. Then I jumped into shrimp fried rice, and then I jumped into special fried rice. Special fried rice is when you put everything in it. Wow. There you go. Yeah, special fried rice comes with everything. You putting shrimp, beef, chicken, everything your heart desires. And with a Chinese restaurant, you can pretty much make your meal the way you want it to be. When you go to the Chinese, we got a thing down there. We like to add egg foo young gravy to it, which goes with the egg foo young. But we like to get the egg foo young gravy on the side. And man, I used to pour that on my shrimp fried rice, my special fried rice. We used to be able to get it for $1 sometime when I was in my broke days growing up in St. Louis. Before I had got a job, you know, mom and dad was taking care of us, paying the bills and everything else. But at that time frame, we was living off of them. And sometimes I wanted some rice, couldn't find it as far as the money went, because we had already ate earlier, and we were still running around as kids in the neighborhood. So we would go up to Normandy Shopping Center, which I think now is North Oaks in St. Louis. And you can go in there and get a whole order of fried rice for $1 with egg in it. That was just getting that flavor of that Chinese food, the Chinaman. Now we're just scrambling up the eggs, getting it ready. I put this on the side. It's going to reheat itself anyway once I add it to the food. So, like I said, if I really had this structure where I was going to actually do it and do exactly how I was going to do this today, I would have had this prep a lot earlier. But this isn't bad either. This is actually good. I've done a lot of times like this too. So you take your egg, chop it up. Don't get it brown. Try to chop it up in fine pieces. It's just to give it flavor to the rice. You're not caring about seeing big egg in your food. You're just flavoring it up. Believe me, it does add flavor to your food. Yeah, it does. All right, so now the shrimp has been added to it, and I'm pretty much just gonna let the steam cook it. The shrimp don't take that long to cook. Mix it in. These are Argentine shrimp that I got from my local grocery store that I like to go to and get my groceries. I've never been disappointed when I get my seafood from it. Let that cook. Let that work its way through. The chicken is still cooking too. Now, I was going to use the other wok, but then I said, you know what? I got too much of that juice from the chicken and that shrimp making its own moisture from the steam that was in there. And that's what I don't want. I don't want the rice to get soggy. So I just pour it in and put it into a strainer and set it to the side. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, turn this heat up a little bit. Put about a 7.5, that should do it. Get out a little wok spoon. And one of the things I was doing, you didn't see me in the video, but I was washing, I was actually washing my dishes as I went along too, which is a good thing to do, so that way you don't have to worry about so much of a mess. A little bit of oil. Everybody got their own preference how you want to do it. You can do it any way you want. Me, myself, when I look at this, put a little bit of oil in it, olive oil, give it a little flavor. You don't have to do a lot of work. When you kill your rice, I could use this fork. I'm gonna use this fork instead of that spoon because I don't, like I said, I don't want to damage the rice. Fork is a lot better. See where I'm going with this? Yeah. And some of y'all probably got your own way of doing it, and I get it. As long as the food comes out the way you like it, then that's good. I put stuff in like this because it's the way I like my rice. Just getting there. Like I said, I like my, oh, you know what, I forgot. Well, y'all can put those in after the fact. Well, no, I'm going to add them now. And sprout. So I just added some bean sprouts to it. Not too much, just enough. A handful should do it. It'll spread itself. Give a little flavor. Now it's time to add a little some soy sauce to it. Brown it up. Like I said, remember I said I wasn't going to use the whole thing. Just going to add enough to it. You can eyeball it how you want it. And what I try to look for is the color in my rice. The soy sauce to start heating that food up too. Once it starts getting in there, it'll start heating it up. Put a little more into it. And that should do it. Coming along. I'm not even disturbing my rice by doing it this way. Everything is still coming out the way I want it. Add the rest of it in there. Now I'm going to cut it down low. So I don't burn anything. Oh yeah, it's there. All right. Now, like I said earlier, you really don't have to. If anything, I'll add to it because I already got soy sauce in it. And if you're older, like I am, I'm 55, so I pretty much don't do a lot of salt. So the soy sauce is already doing that. So, but I will put some pepper in it. And if I had, St. Louis know where I'm going. If I had some red pepper, I put some red pepper off into it. But that red pepper bring out that flavor too. Alright, so she's there. Everything's coming out just like I wanted it. Just like I planned it. It is there. And of course, it wouldn't be real with St. Louis style if you didn't have your RC or if you didn't have your vest. I don't have any vests, but I got the RC, which is the Royal Crown sodas down here. So I got that. Break it off a little bit. And we are ready to break bread. Hey, what's going on? So so there you have it. You saw me bring a little bit of St. Louis into your home as far as growing up and eating what we call Chinaman, which was fried rice, the way that we like to eat it down in St. Louis. I tried to get as close as I could to it. I'm not gonna say that I did anything the way that I'm used to having it eaten, but I'm gonna say I came close to it. The authenticity down in St. Louis with the fried rice is off the chain. We call it the Chinamans. Everybody know when you say you was going to the Chinese restaurant, you say, yo, where you going? You say, I'm going to the Chinamans. Bring me back a box too, which it came in a box. It wasn't no styrofoam plate. You know, we had it in a cardboard type paper box that they put it in, and that's what you had. So you had your ham, you had your shrimp, you had your special, you had your duck and noodles, you had your St. Paul's, you had your egg foo yum, you had your vest sodas, you had your cream, you had your the RC, you had your lime sodas. So these were all the things that we did. The red pepper that you put into it, bean sprouts, egg foo yum, gravy, the works. So yeah, even I didn't mess around with too much of the chicken, anything like that. I mainly just went for the rice. That's all I wanted. I didn't mess with anything of a side dish. If I wanted chicken, I'm going to Lee's Chicken, things like that. Going to churches or something like that. I'm not going to eat anything else other than what you should specialize in, and that was my rice. So shout out to ST.Louis, shout out to Normandy, shout out to my boys in East St. Louis, relatives, things like that. My friends that live in there. Shout out to my Navy buddies, my Navy partners from St. Louis, from all over the world. Really, I met a lot of people. So I want to give a shout out to that. I also want to send the prayers up to Houston. I want to send the prayers up to upper parts of Texas. Anybody that's going through this freeze that was going through, pretty much everybody that's going through anything. I want to give a shout out and send the prayers your way. And hoping for the best that we all pull through for 2021. If you see the video, if you like the video, like and subscribe, leave a comment. I'm getting new with this, so this is something I'm doing. This is how I'm passing on my time with the pandemic. I love playing poker, so I'm not playing poker or anything like that. I'm pretty much stagnant at the house. I go fishing, go for my walks, things like that. But this is another thing I do to maintain balance and keep myself going in the right direction for positivity. You know, call your friends, talk to your loved ones, reach out to people if you're going through something with this pandemic or you're having hard times with unemployment, anything. Try to reach out and talk to people, man. So with that said, you know, we all got to do this. Let's put God first. Love your kids, love your relatives, talk to your friends. And with that said, man, I'm out. This is Alex, and be seeing you again with more videos. So like I said before, if you like it, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.